What's up, people? Welcome to not my socially speaking, but how about this? Our socially speaking. Maybe I'm going to change the name to our socially speaking instead of my socially speaking. As you know, I'm Sunny Day, author of Social Work Drama. Unfortunately, there's a ton of social work drama out there, and I'm starting to think about getting a little bit more specific into my book. I've never done that on my channel before. I think I'm going to do that. It's just the reason why there's some hesitancy is because it's kind of intense. But it is a place that we need to go. We need to go there. Don't like to, but we need to. And I'm not so much worried about me. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about taking you there. But I'm going to give it a shot. Only because it's good for you. Okay? And because I care. So today, kind of got a little bit of a two-part. I'm going to talk about some, and excuse my shirt. I was brushing my teeth. You know how that is. Stuff start dribbling down. Toothpaste does not get off of your shirt. So excuse me for being less than perfect. I'm like, my weave is going limp. I tried out some new Sephora lipstick color. It's not my color. Maybe because I don't have any makeup on, it doesn't look that good on me. So I'm gonna try it with some foundation when I wear some foundation, and maybe when I have on brownish or whatever. But these are pretty cheap at Sephora. I think they're like $8. So it's a little bit trying to get makeup for low cost. But I gotta tell you, I forgot to bring it with me. But Victoria's Secret has their sale. And I always like to tell you about a bargain. They actually have mats. This is a mat, and this is $8 from Sephora. But Victoria's Secret has mats for $4. So, the annual semi is on. So you might want to scuffle on down there. I did get forgot to bring it. Maybe I'll bring it later to show you. But I got some other really good stuff. I'm going to talk about... I'll table that for a second. But I wanted to show you these hot items. I'm super into accessories. I've had these earrings for a while now, but I bought them a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. A couple of years ago from H&M for, guess how much? $1. $1. That's right. Y'all know how I'm giving it up. I don't play, because guess what? When I spend money on stuff, I have to spend un poquito dólares, un poquito pesos. Why? Because I need the rest of my money for food, the rest of my money for bills, gas, light, electricity, air conditioning, and heat, things like that. So it's like pointless. And most of those types of things, like gas, okay, it's but so many places you can go to get it for cheap. Food, the cheaper it gets, the more harmful it is to your body. So things like accessories, clothes, things that it won't affect your health if you spend less. you want to concentrate on doing that because that's where you can save your dollar. So, say all that to say, I went to just to hang out in Atlanta for a little while, and let me just show you. I went to Icing, okay, and again, I'm deep into cosmetic jewelry. Um, Not that big into gold and stuff. Not that it's a bad thing and diamonds. See that? Isn't that so cute? Ah, okay. And look at this whole pack. It says 7. Why was it $7? No. And this is a pack of like 4 rings. See that? And this is, I saw Adrienne Baillon on the Real, which I don't watch the Real no more ever since Tamar. But I forgot what I was watching it for. I guess it popped up on my news feed, and I saw Adrienne Baillon with her hand filled with rings. So I was like, that's back again, or is still back? And I just didn't know. But yeah. So I don't know if hers were real or not. I'm just saying it is still in style to wear a ton of rings on your finger. Isn't that pretty? And these are all from Icing. And they're so cute. Like when you're going to hang out, party, just having some fun. I got a bag full. Bags. Bags on bags on bags. Bags on bags on bags. They're like falling out of my bags. Bags on bags on bags. Just to show you they were from Icing. Is the tag on here? Yeah. Can you see? Does it say Icing? Oh yeah, it says it in the front. Icing. Oh, I didn't even show you this one. It's cute. It's cute. And I don't know, costume jewelry looks really nice on me. I don't know if it looks nice on, I don't think it looks nice on everybody, but it does look nice on me. And look at this. A necklace. They had initial necklaces. Look how cute these are. Pinky. Like all different. Like it's like non-stop. Endless. I'm about to tell you in a second why I have a billion of them. And look at this. Even a key. A key that says dream. I put it on the wrong way. But it says dream. Okay, I'm just like trying to clean up and put some of them back. But guess what? There's more. Oh, this is just another initial. Okay. So, my beautiful people, guess what? Guess how much all of this cost? Knowing me, guess how much it costs? You guessed it. Uno peso, mi amigos. See, $1. All of these, all that I just wanted to show you, not to show off, but to show you because I want you, if you're interested, I want you to get the most for your buck too. Because like I said, the money that you spend on anything, because accessories, clothes, whatever, a pack of fake nails, whatever. The lesser you spend, if you can, the more money you have for other things. The more money you have to put in your church tithe, the more money you have to hand out to somebody that you see, a homeless, hungry person, or you're treating your friend out to lunch. When you cut your coins, you have more. So yeah, I hit up Icing, and they had all of these $1 each. And guess what? It was, okay, they were $2, but it was buy one, get one free. So that equals $1 each. I know you're so proud of me. And I want to be proud of you. I want you to do it too. This one was $12.99. This pack was $14.99. And I ultimately cashed out on $1. Just $1. I'm going to show it to you again. $1. And this, again, this is not to criticize or put down real jewelry. Wear your real jewelry if you want to. But if you want, even celebrities have their fake jewelry in a stash. So I'm just saying. Nothing wrong with the fake stuff. Nothing wrong with anything. Whatever you like is what you like. But I just want you to know that you can get this for a very low price. And it's cute. And of course, don't forget, put your clear nail polish on it. And you preserve it just a little longer. This is not going to last. That's why I bought a lot. I like to wear it to church. It just looks fancy. I just love accessories. I love scarves. When it gets really, really hot, you can't wear chains, but they're cute. These are not cute to wear together, but they're cute. They're fun. So run on down to Icing if there's one near you and get you a bunch of these. I hope they still have them. I did just get them. It was a couple of days ago. About 3 days ago. Yeah, so, and they had tons and tons of them. All different types of necklaces. It's just the necklaces I wasn't deep into because I'm not real into, I'm not really into, like, how do I say it? The big necklaces. I like these stringy type of necklaces. So, anyhow, okay. I kind of don't even want to talk about this, but I am, and I'm always trying to be very, very careful with the words that I choose. So, whenever you do observe a hesitancy in me, and I've said that before, that it is that I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. I never ever want to appear as though I am offending anyone because my focal point is always to be supportive and to be loving. That is the genuine place, I promise you, that I am always coming from. So whenever there seems to be like I seem stuck, it's because I'm saying to myself, make sure you choose your words properly. And I stay talking with my hands. That's just what I do. So I just wanted to briefly talk about the hot topic, when they see us. I can't even remember how I heard about, on social media, of course. Yeah. Somebody was posting it. I hadn't seen any advertisements or anything, but somebody posted something about it on social media. I think I saw it on Instagram or whatever. So I said, let me check it out. I do have Netflix. And I think when I started it, it was my era. I very succinctly, explicitly remember that time, 1989. I remember the case. I was very young. I was older than them by a couple of years. I remember that took place in Harlem and I lived in Brooklyn. And I remember in my hood, which is very similar to that hood, we all, because of the media, a media coverage, which was only the newspaper back then and television, they were totally presented as 1,000,000,000% guilty. Totally. There wasn't a doubt in our mind. In my hood in Brooklyn, from what I had observed with my mom, my neighbors, I grew up on a very, very, very close-knit block that was like family. And like I said, explicitly, I recall us feeling like, oh my God, what a shame, and the media presenting them as they knew one another. I was totally shocked when I watched the film, which is uh, 5 episodes long. Intense is not even the word to describe it at all. It's I right now I can't even think of a word. I actually haven't been able to think of a word to describe it. It's just extremely, obviously emotional. But I remember growing up and I remember hearing about it. I remember the event and I remember the media coverage was 1,000,000,000%. These guys knew one another. We did know of their age and they did present them like they just set out to go and to do that. Um, but watching the film and the truth, they didn't even know each other. They were so innocent and they were babies, basically. It was only one of them that was 16 years old. And it's a very difficult watch. Um, I thought I wasn't even going to be able to talk about it. That's how intense it is. And up until I think I finished it 2 days ago. It took me 2 days to finish it because for me, it was emotionally draining. And there's that part where, it was from New York. I'm from New York. It was in Harlem. I'm from Brooklyn. And just remembering that time and how they were presented as guilty. And no one ever said that they didn't even know one another. Again, the media presented it like they did know one another. But it was very psychological. It was emotional, and there's a ton of people that say, I can't watch it. I felt like I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't finish it. I had some concerns. Am I going to be able to get through this? That's how bad it was. I saw it. I finished it, I think, 3 days ago, and I was in my shower crying yesterday morning over it. But I'm glad that I am able to talk about it, and I feel confident and competent enough to review it with you. If you feel that because there's a bunch of people saying, I can't watch it, I won't watch it, I can't watch it, I won't watch it, too intense, too emotional. Everyone needs to see it. Everyone needs to see it. Particularly, I think younger people, especially. And the reason I say that is because they didn't know each other, but they all were going to hang out just to have fun and not while out in a negative way, just while out laughing and playing. Because they were 14 and 15-year-olds. So, and they all came from good, stable households. And they all had good histories. They did not have any history of trouble or any history of no criminal background or anything like that. They didn't have, one was a musician. They were good children from decent homes. Not to say that if they weren't, that this should have happened. No, but they were following. That's why I suggest that especially young people see it because they were following one another. And when you are a follower, I mean, what happened to them should never happen to anyone ever. But when you are a follower, young or older, nothing good comes out of that. Ever. Ever. So I strongly encourage everyone to please watch it. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And especially, because of the premise of it, there's endless reasons to watch it. But it was sad because they didn't know they had the right to remain silent. No one told them that. And it brings to light so many of the current events that are happening still today. And how we all need to educate ourselves, remind ourselves. And there's a big remind ourselves of where we are in the world today and remind ourselves of where we need to be, and where we will prayerfully get back to. Um, and it can make you remember to be empathetic towards mankind, period, sympathetic towards mankind, and compassionate towards people, and supportive towards people. So for people that say I can't watch it, it's just too emotional, it's they would do themselves a disservice by not watching, because you can get through it. You can get through it. And I tell some people that tell me I can't watch it, I won't watch it, it's just too emotional. I encourage, of course, them to watch it and remind them, try to watch it early as feasible in the day. It's 5 episodes, and they're very, very, very lengthy. Try to be. It almost sounds ridiculous, but it's not. Try to be hydrated, well rested, early in the day, so you don't carry those emotions with you throughout the day. I was actually going to work after I watched it, the very first, the very first episode, and I just prayed, God, please, because I didn't know what to expect. All I saw was those 2 posts, I think, on Facebook that said, "Oh, you gotta watch it," and that's it. "Oh, it's really intense," and I'm like, What are you talking about?" I think somebody else has said something that made me watch. But I was going to work in like an hour and a half after I finished the very first episode. And I just prayed, God, please. And I have really good separation skills. I've always been so proud of that. I don't practice a lot of displaced anger. I'm usually, that person. Pain shares, pain lesson. I will talk my way through things so that I don't just implode, and explode. And I was concerned about that happening to myself that day, when I was going to work in the afternoon until the nighttime. And I was thinking, as I was getting dressed to go to work after I watched it, I was thinking, who is going to be to work today that I could talk to, somebody that would be supportive. And I wasn't sure who was going to, if 2 of my fave people were going to be there or not. I would text them if they weren't. But I prayed, and one of my friends that I do talk to a lot, she was there, and I was glad. And I was telling her how I felt, and talking about it with her. She hadn't seen it. She said that she wasn't interested. She's very, very young. She's like 20. And she's disinterested just because she knows it's so emotional, but she knows that it is something that is educational and that she should see it. So she said that she would. And I did recommend to her, see it as early in the day as you can, stay hydrated, well rested. It's 5 episodes. I had no idea how many episodes it was. Expect to cry, and if you cry, it's okay. Those feelings will go away. They will subside, but it is definitely a message. There's a bunch of messages in there. It's a bunch of information. It's educational, and again, it reminds us the humanness of us, and it also provides an awareness that even I have a tendency to forget, because I have a tendency, a deep-seated tendency, to give people more credit than they deserve. I'm always expecting someone to do what they're supposed to do. I'm always expecting someone to have integrity, and I do view people most of the time in a favorable light. At least I try to. And sometimes that's not a good idea. So watching this kind of brought back that for me. Not like it's 100% gone from me, but it did make me feel like now, like right after it, and even now, looking at young men, there is an affinity I feel for them. there's a prayer in my heart and in my mind that I extend to them, and just love without knowing you, without saying anything to you, but just praying for you, sending them that love, because in 1989, 14 and 15 and 16-year-old boys, especially 14 and 15, they were like babies. They really were like babies. In New York. In New York. Now, 14 and 15-year-old boys are a little bit different. They're not grown, but I'm not sure they're considered like babies. We all considered 14 and 15-year-old little boys back in 1989 like babies in the 80s. Yeah. Now, whatever this thing is that 14, 15, 16-year-old boys are saying and doing, this is a whole different thing. But trust me, back then, you 14, 15-year-old young man, you were looked at like a baby. And in reality, you were then and you still are now. As you grow, you learn. And again, these young men did come from stable, healthy households. Well, I think with the exception of one. I think one of them, his mother, they alluded to the fact that she was selling illicit substances. And it touched on a family member that was transgender. And this might come to a surprise to some, but back in the 80s, being transgender was almost foreign. Yeah. And it touched a little bit on that. So that was interesting to see. But it was just very, very impressionable. And for me, again, I just can't say it enough. And I do keep repeating it over and over to people because I remember when it occurred, and I remember all of us thinking and talking about it, bad, 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 and then they didn't even do anything at all. And I remember back then that they were consistently proclaiming their innocence. And we just all presumed, oh, they're just saying that, they're not admitting it, but the way Ava DuVernay did the piece, it's just wonderful. It's wonderful. It's really, really, really good to look at. Again, like I'm definitely that girl who's pretty much never at a loss for words, but it's either I have too many words for it or no, but I will say, see it, see it, see it, see it, see it. It gives you a strong sense of, it heightens your sense of awareness. Again, next level, because we get laxed, we become desensitized. I mean, since the last segment, I think we've had 2 more massacres, so it's this negativity. A lot of us, including myself, at times feel I'm so accustomed to it. It's like, what do we do? But we can't get complacent. I can't get complacent. I can't get comfortable. I can't throw in the towel because I'm thinking about the future children of the world. So we've got to always keep that goal to do better, to improve, to do better, to improve, to do better, to improve, whatever that may be for us. And if you don't know what it is, draw it from within, pray about it, and you'll definitely get an answer. But see that piece when they see us. See it. And like I said, stay well rested as you're watching it, and try to watch it. Like if you're in a bad mood, if you had a hard day, don't watch it. Do not watch it. If you're in a bad mood, somebody piss you off, something's wrong, don't watch it. Just table it to the next time. I'm telling you, because it's too emotional. It's too overwhelming. That's for everybody. I was looking at a reporter, a middle-aged white man. He was talking about how he watched it in the morning also, and that he was crying in the shower too, tearful. So the tears we shed help cleanse our soul. The crying is inevitable, okay? But it's a must-see. So if you're one of those people, or if you know someone that's been saying, I'm not going to watch it because I'll be too emotionally aroused. No, I encourage everyone to see it. Again, because it reminds us. It's a good reminder of being empathetic towards each other. It's educational. You'll just remember you don't know how God is going to use it. You might remember to tell somebody, don't forget, you have the right to remain silent, because that was like the chunk of the premise. They would not have spoken so much if someone said, and no one said to them, you have the right to remain silent. Nobody said that until your attorney shows up. Nobody said that. None of the authorities said that. So even that, and that's a make or break you. So just make sure that you see it. And I'm just grateful for films like that. And the guys are doing great now. They were awarded $41 million. Don't know how that, like if it was each or if it was separate. I know the last one, the oldest one that was 16, he was the last one to be released from prison after almost 14 years. He was brutally beaten. The others had been released after 6 years and several months, 7 years and several months, 8 years and several months. But the one that was 16 years old, he wasn't released until after like 14 years or something. And he had been tortured in prison. And I can't even imagine. He still lives in New York, and the others are in Atlanta, have been living in Atlanta. They got like 10 kids and stuff. But when you see the film, or if you've seen it, you'll know that I'm just praying, because I can't imagine his psyche not being affected for the rest of his life after seeing that, after him experiencing all of that. But God works miracles. And his mother had gotten saved, and she was praying for him to be released. And God does answer prayers. And he was released. So I'm sure they showed him at the end walking through New York, chilling. So I'm just praying that he's mentally, emotionally, physically okay now. All of them. They look happy. The footage that I've seen of them afterwards, they look happy. And they look like they're okay. So I guess there is such a thing as people being able to put things behind them, especially something of that magnitude. So that's my segment. And again, I strongly encourage you to see the movie When They See Us, and take those tips that I gave you and get down to icing if you can, or get down somewhere and get yourself some nice costume jewelry for a nice cheap price, and get down to, who was that? Victoria's Secret. Oh, and tomorrow starts the Bath and Body Works sale. I'm going to get down there and see what I could get for $1 a piece, and I'm going to be bringing that right back up in here and showing y'all. Because I want you to stay fly. So until next time, if nobody told you that they love you, I do, and so does God. Have a great day.